Hello, Earthlings, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of And Another Thing with Dave. I just kind of wanted to do a personal introduction to this episode. A thank you. It's kind of a year-end episode. There's going to be two more episodes in the year, and Freedom Rain is going to be my guest wrapping up the year. I met him on the Stereo app, and I'll read his bio right here. Freedom Rain, Oakland, California, music, poetry, elementary teacher in graphic design, individual thinker and destroyer of narratives. We get into it about why education is not free in the U.S. This is going to be a great podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all the listeners from throughout the world. We've got listeners from India, the United Kingdom, Canada, Romania, the Netherlands, Russia, Thailand, the Czech Republic, and many more. Thank you so much. I am humbled. All right, let's get into it. Like everything you just said, I've learned through going down the rabbit hole. Every single point you just pointed out, I could be like, yep. Give me the checklist. Check. Absolutely correct on every single point. I've done my own research, and that's why you and I are talking, right? Like, Freedom Rain and I met on Stereo, and we just happen to be two like-minded people who will not fit in a box, refuse to fit in a box, and like to think for ourselves, you know?
Exactly.
So God bless you, or whatever. God has blessed you, brother.
God has blessed me. We got two messages in the chamber, and then we're gonna get back to the first and second question of why isn't college free, and why hasn't it been free? So let's go ahead and hit these ditties. We got the Daryl Williams in the building. What you got, buddy?
Yeah, I believe it was free for all California state schools and community colleges. All you had to do was pay for books. Up until 1986, I believe. Then Jerry Brown came in and did a bunch of different rebates and different things where it's like they technically made it not free, but it was still free if you could get some coupons or some shit like that. But then it slowly just went up, and then every year since, or every semester since, it's now a couple more dollars every unit till the end of time.
Man, per unit. And just how many students these days are faced with crippling debt? You come out of school crippled with debt. This benefits one group, and of course that's the rich corporate elite, right? Because you're paying off those loans, you're trying to get these entry-level jobs, you're not making anything of yourself, you don't have time to question society deeper, you're just living to the buck. And real quick, shout out to
I just want to add a quick tag onto that. It was actually Ronald Reagan who quit the free college education. And I can't find the clip online now, imagine that. But in the 90s, I was recording stuff off the radio, and I recorded this thing, and it was Reagan's head aide as the governor of California. And his aide was saying, Mr. Governor, unless we do something about this free college tuition, we're going to end up with an overeducated workforce and nobody to man the factories.
Wow.
Well, they straight up said it, right? So guess what? Now, they acted on that, and they took away the free college. So, but guess what? Now we got no college. So we're a nation full of idiots with no jobs for idiots.
And guess what? Instead of manning the factories, now we're being replaced with AI. Now you just got loose idiots. You're sending all our jobs over shores and replacing us with
loose
computers.
Cannons.
Get out of here. Loose cannons, so that you can have more people to make your patsies. Come on.
And you're surprised that people lose their mind and just go fucking cray.
Right. Yeah. Real quick, shout out to everybody in the building. Vendanya, Sleepy Wonder. What's up, Sleep? Ross Jones, Rah, Triple Deuce, Dr. OG Maddox, Mind Fox, Triple Deuce. And we got May the Poet. Oh, did I see her twice? And Mind Fox. I think I said that. We're getting through some of your ditties. Yeah.
Mind Fox, Triple Deuce, and May the Poet. Got a few of my people in the house. Thank you so much.
Gang. All right, we got Ross Jones in the queue. Let's hear it.
Not only that, but there was also the guy who leaked the amount of civilians who died during drone strikes, which was 90%.
Ooh, yes. And
Wow.
Obama was kind of like the push button president when it came to drone strikes. Man, we had all kind of civilian casualties, and it makes me think of just after this Afghanistan situation, the withdrawal, when they used a drone to blow up that truck, and they were assuring all of us, oh, we caught an ISIS K target, and this is why we're not a completely screw up. Came out that it was what, three adults and a child, had nothing to do with anything. They just blew up a truck of civilians. No one's held accountable for that. It's just like, oops, oh well, sorry.
Yeah. No,
That's
I'm sorry.
crazy.
I'm sorry. That's unexcusable. I gotta just interrupt real quick.
Yeah.
Everybody, please do me a favor. The way the algorithm works on stereo is if you folks clap it up, there's 7 people in here right now. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. But if you clap it up a little bit, it'll trigger the algorithm. More people will jump in here. And if you
Clap
share
it
it,
up.
even more people. So clap it, clap it, clap it.
Clap it up,
Clap it
and
up.
thanks for that share. We appreciate you. We got Ross Jones in the queue. Let's go.
Well, the Democrats are also trying to pass a reconciliation bill, which includes 2 years of free community college.
That would be nice. Get
Well,
some.
California is doing that now, right? So we have moved in California. We've moved to a policy where junior college is now free in California for the first
Mhm.
time in decades. Um,
Nice.
which leads me to an article I got. But let's go ahead and get through these messages, and then I can read this article I got.
For sure. May, the poet. And yes, she is really a poet. Let's go.
Oh, he said Daryl Williams is in. Oh boy. Okay, Daryl, you got your research department here. My voice is a little better, but not great. I just want to say I'm listening to the conversation and I don't have much to add to it because I went to a really good college myself and
Oh.
we won't go into that. But no,
Was it
I don't think
free?
education is free at all. I actually come from a family of teachers who
Mm.
are kind of glad that they don't have to be teaching in this day and age with the pandemic and
Oh my
the school
God.
issues. My uncle was a retired teacher. My aunt's a retired teacher. My mother was a kindergarten teacher when she was alive. So,
Nice.
yeah, education is not free. And I don't care what kind of spin you put on it.
Mm.
It's just not what it appears to be anymore. But anyway, that's just me.
Mm.
Now I'll go back to my poetry later.
May.
Read us
Funded
a
and
poem, May.
designed. Yeah, read us a poem. Funded
She does poem.
and oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I was just going to point out that the school system in the late 1800s was funded, heavily designed, and made compulsory, partly in part by your favorite people, your favorite family, the Rockefellers. And so that
Oh
brings
yeah.
us to, again, it's not broken. It's doing exactly what it's designed to. They want people,
Mm-hmm.
as George Carlin said, who are just smart enough to repeat the information and push the button and go home, but not smart enough to question the system. And the things you said that Reagan's um, I'm sorry, I forgot who that was in Reagan's
His head
office.
aide.
His head aide literally echoed those sentiments: is that we don't want, we don't want a population of smart, critical thinking people. Just, hell no, don't make it free.
Dangerous.
And
Yeah. Here's an
yeah,
article I got right
yeah,
here.
get in there.
I know what I was gonna say. May can do
Yeah.
on the fly poems. That's what I was gonna say. So May,
Ooh,
do us a spontaneous on the fly poem.
about
But here's a quick
education.
article.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a quick and this is from calmatters.org. The soul crushing cost of college in California explained by
Mm,
Felicia Mello, November 13th, 2019. Um, it's not your grandparents or even your parents' higher ed system. A young Californian of the baby boomer generation, bolstered by the post war economic boom and the state's investment in public higher education, could often emerge from college with little to no debt and a clear path to a living wage and
mm,
homeownership. Today's
mm,
California students, by contrast, graduate with an average of more than $20,000 in student debt. California offers more generous financial aid than most other states,
but gone are the days of taking free college for granted. Studies
Mm,
show how many students struggle to afford food and housing.
mm-hmm.
And we can get into it later, but I got statistics that I found from Google, and basically a college grad makes twice what a high school grad makes. So,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote free college more than pays for itself. It's
Right.
it's a money-making idea
And it's
just
great for
from the
the
taxes.
economy. Right. You got
Well,
more
and
people buying homes and selling homes. You got income tax. You've got sales tax booming, less
imagine
homelessness.
this,
Oh my God.
something people don't even talk about. You have more people doing things that they want to do instead of
Yes.
things they have to do. So
Hence,
less
less workplace
less
shootings. I'm sorry.
right.
That was
Less
too much.
people going postal because they're not just
Yeah.
doing some fucking grind all day,
Right.
every day, and they got to
Right.
fucking face Bob all day, every day, and
Right.
Bob fucking is a mean whatever.
Right.
No
Right.
more of that. You could actually aspire to be something. Like you want to get your master's degree and become a teacher, become like a professor, do it, right? Imagine
Man,
if we help people like that, like other countries do.
that's
Like
crazy.
other countries
Countries do.
do. All of
Man,
them.
all right. I got a
All of them.
question for you. Well, I got a question and a statement to post to you. Let's hit these two ditties real quick.
You. Skittle.
Mayberry.
Didn't know why, but this conversation makes me feel real sexy, real hot.
Thank you.
So keep it up,
Oh,
boys.
all
Keep
right.
it up. Makes me
Okay.
feel real good. Real good.
Is it
And I like it a lot.
You keep it up,
Nah,
literally.
supporting
right?
you.
Literally.
Gonna keep up the good work. Talking about all these things. I really enjoy it.
Got to have
Keeps
somewhere
me
to put
real
my
good,
towel,
Lord.
right?
I enjoy it a lot.
Glad you are
But
enjoying it to that extent, Mayberry.
glad you're enjoying it. But what I'm confused, and inquiring minds need to know. Once again, we're not telling you what to think. We're just telling you to think. But I got to ask, like, oh my God, so is it like having your rights taken away and being raised like veal in a cage that turns you on? Or is it like us talking about aspiring to freedom that turns you on?
I
Which one
think
is it?
it's two critical thinking people breaking open the fourth wall and just really diving into things they don't want people, because they want us to be divided by race, age, social economic class, all these different
Oh, yeah.
dividers.
All
And
of
me
it.
and you are breaking all of those walls by having this conversation and being,
Yeah.
we know a lot of the same facts, which is really confirming because, I really trust in my critical thinking skills. And I think you have the same level and are probably better. And for us to come together and
We're equals,
certain
brother.
things
Don't
are
put me any.
facts,
We're
you
equals.
know, it's like that just makes, the information's out there, people.
The
May, the
information's
poet.
out there, and
Yeah.
and we're not making things up. And
Nope.
and what I just need to chime into what you said, because the fact that I've said things and you're like, oh yes, I read that
Mm-hmm.
too, and you've said the same thing, and I'm like, oh yes, because I went down the same rabbit hole. So
Yep.
obviously we've done similar research
Yep.
on our own time, maybe through school, maybe not, but
Yeah.
whatevs, because obviously we're just curious people, right?
Right.
So,
And if
but
we
don't ever put me above you, bro. No, I'm your equal. You're my equal, and we're riding this wave together, and we're thinking people that are trying to think more. So, but don't ever say I know more than you. You just said that, and I'm going to check you right there.
Oh, I was gonna give you credit because you're
No,
a
no, no,
couple
no.
years older than me, but fuck that. Yeah, we're equal, buddy. And not only
That's it.
that, but I bet me and you could do a section where we talk about bullshit, conspiracy theories that aren't true, crazy, wacky shit that we've heard. Going down these
Oh,
rabbit holes,
absolutely,
you would think, oh, they just agree because they
absolutely.
hear the same shit. No, it will show you that there's so much information that we've come across in the years that we had to throw away to the wayside that we may have once held up and said,
Most
let
of
me
it.
look at this. And yeah, a good 80 to 90% of that stuff turned out not to be true. And the things that me and you agree on are things that our critical thinking both led us that this holds true. So if we could do that one day
Thank
and
you.
just have a whole section of BS that we
I
turned
would love
down
that.
that didn't make it, I think that would be great because that's critical
I would
thinking.
love that
It would be
because
great.
like you said, to find that nugget of truth, you have to weed through 20,
Man.
30, 40 things. So,
Yep.
so I've gone down
Yep.
the rabbit hole and been like, oh, are you kidding me? Like flat Earth. Like, are you kidding me? Come on. Are you
Right.
kidding me?
Right. Right. All right, let's hit these ditties, and then I got that for you. Let's go. May.
Do
And
it.
I don't know if you guys ever saw Waiting for Superman. It was a
I heard
documentary
about
they
that.
did in 2010, which is quite old now. But this was based on a lottery. Kids' names would be put into a lottery, and if your number was called, you were regarded as a student in a certain school system. Um, which really blew my mind because I kind of saw it going that way. I saw schools becoming extinct, eradicated a little bit at this time, especially now with the pandemic. And I saw that, most teachers would probably be more than less glad to tutor or teach in a private home than teach in a school setting. So if you've never seen this documentary, which is called Waiting for Superman, it was out in 2010, you really should, because I think that's where it's going. The people that can afford the education are going to be able to get it, and the ones who can't won't.
Man. And I'll just
Man,
keep it
cheap.
real. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. No, you go.
I mean, as a teacher, man, I'm not going to lie. I got in trouble with a few of my colleagues. Distant learning was amazing. We're usually teachers, we're understaffed, our classrooms are overcrowded, and we have so much on our plate. We end up working after school. You can't really focus and give individualized learning and attention to kids how you should. Distant learning was a whole nother beast. You're able to do conferences, do assignments, and just things at a whole nother leisure and live your actual life. So yeah, I can totally see how and again, everybody should have access to it, but yeah, that the
Hmm.
school model is not conducive to the kids or the teachers that we want to be producing critical thinkers who follow their dreams, not people who are used to being overworked, underpaid, and in debt. Come on now.
Right. No, our current school system teaches you to work a 10-hour day and just suck it up and go home.
Yep.
Right. It doesn't
And deal
teach
with
you
authority.
any
Mm-hmm.
and deal with authority and just suck it up and be part
Mm-hmm.
of a team. Don't stand out as an individual. It's really kind of communist ideals if
Oh
you think about it.
man, it is.
Just
It is.
shut up and conform. Shut up and conform. Don't stand out unless
No,
it's on the sports field, right? Unless it's on the
exactly.
sports field, or we'll give you like a valedictorian award for like one or two of you brainiacs. But it better not be. We're not even gonna have a political science class in high school. Oh hell no.
Dude,
We
we're
don't.
not going to
We're
teach
not even.
financial literacy or trade
Oh God.
schools.
God, no.
What?
Not going to teach
What?
you how to fill out a job application, a resume, how to balance your checkbook. Oh God, no. Because why? Because banks profit. Every time you don't know how to do that, the bank
Man,
wins.
bro, these
So,
insufficient fee funds are crazy. You mean to tell me that a bank will charge a poor person literally aha your poor fee for not having enough money and everybody gets paid off of it?
and
That's
what does the bank have to? And what does the bank really?
crazy.
What does it really cost them? They send out an automatically generated email.
Yep. Yep.
Nobody's
They
putting
don't
in more hours,
Nobody's putting in
right?
more hours. And with fractional reserve lending, my dollar is $10 to them. My $100 is
Oh,
1,000, and that they're lending out. And you can't spot me $20 till next payday, man. Wow. And you're
even
gonna
though I've been with
charge me?
you even though
And
I've
I've
been
been
with
with you
you
for
5, 10 years, been making you money
uh,
hand
it's
over fist, right?
it's
Like that's
crazy.
just a bad business partner at that point, right? That's not a
Hey,
good
hey,
business
hey,
partner at
hey,
that point,
hey.
right?
Corporations are people and we need to respect their rights. Okay.
Well,
All
that's
right.
right. That's right. That's right.
May
Bow
the
to the
poet.
corporation.
Yeah, right.
All right, so I'll tell you what Waiting for Superman is in case you haven't seen it. It's basically about kids that are in public schools that are being swayed to be in a lottery for charter schools. I think charter
Mm.
schools are the future of education. I'm
Charter
sorry. I
schools
think
rock.
that a lot of
Bad.
kids are going to be left out in the long
No.
run. There's going to be a distinct, um, I guess, line drawn
Yep.
between public schools and charter schools. I went to a good college, like I said. But I also went ahead and I was also in a charter school for dyslexia,
Mm.
which I have, still have actually. Um, but I've gotten along for anyone without it. And the school I went into was basically meant for people with disabilities, etc. I was only there 2 years before my parents couldn't afford it, and I got dropped back into public school. But if you haven't seen this thing, Waiting for Superman, which is 2010, you really should,
I'm gonna watch
because
that.
that's where it's all headed.
Sounds
I'm definitely
fantastic. And they've been trying to privatize our healthcare, well, that too, but our education system for decades, right? Like that's why
gonna.
Betsy DeVos was put in charge of our
Oh,
education
oh,
system.
yeah.
She
You
makes
speaking?
money
Yeah.
off of student loan debt collections. She's invested in
Uh,
student loan debt collection. So what worse person could you put in charge of the school system? Like, are you kidding me?
are you kidding
She's
me? And
she's
she was.
she's clearly for the Walmartization
Yep.
of the fucking education system, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, Mayberry.
Yes, this is a game, man. It makes me feel so good. I have throat issues anyway. I feel so good talking about these things, and I've tried to mention that college is so beneficial, so good. And I think it's so beautiful that these two beautiful men are talking about these things, and it actually gets me actually aroused. Excuse me.
Oh. Oh, well, contribute something intellectual to the discussion politically,
That's right.
or yeah, get in there. Let's see what you think, not how you
What would
feel.
get what would get me aroused is watching a dominatrix play with the head of Walmart, and by play with him, I mean like abuse him like in a serious fashion. That would get me
Right.
aroused.
Right. What will get me aroused is the
Um,
people of America coming together beyond class, color, and creed, and putting this corporatocracy, transhumanism thing in its place before we get to some Blade Runner
that's
cyberpunk
right.
ass reality that nobody wants to live in. Stop playing.
That's right. Do you all
We,
see it? Don't you all see? I mean, like, imagine, come on, we've all seen Terminator,
yeah.
Blade Runner, RoboCop. We've
Yeah.
all seen them.
Predictive
It's
programming.
happening now. It's
Predictive
happening
program.
now,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Absolutely.
And just because we've seen it before, people aren't freaking out. I mean, a lot of us are, but a lot of people are just like, oh, yeah, whatever.
That's fiction. There's no.
AI, AI is
Uh,
going to benefit me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And yeah. Let's hit these ditties because that's gonna send me off on a tangent.
Oh, yeah.
Why is college not free?
Why is
College
it?
not free because the facility, the staff, and all that shit costs money. You know, people go to college, but when I went to college, I used to work at the college,
Mm-hmm.
and part of the
Been there.
college you had access to like what everybody got paid, and plus working at the college and setting up the events and stuff as the event coordinator. I got
Mm-hmm.
to started realizing the amount of funds going to all the little activities and events and comedians and musicians and different things that come to colleges and you know and let's not start with the sports teams and stuff like a lot of
Yeah.
stuff
Let's not.
costs and of course we was able to see all the staff pay because it was public record and people putting time and energy into things and people time and energy has a value and they got to get paid and they get paid from our tuition.
Well, thank you,
So
but I like what you said.
I
Like the
appreciate that,
football
Bugsy.
coach on a successful team, he's getting paid, but
He
fuck
getting
the
paid.
English teacher. But
Bugsy
fuck
English
the
teacher.
English teacher, right?
Yeah. And I loved having a job in my campus. I thought that was such a good way to meet people and all that good stuff. But I hear what you're saying. The building, people got to get paid, the production costs. But look, this is not exactly related, but it costs millions of dollars to produce a vaccine, to ship it, to package it, and guess what? That's free. Where are your
Well,
priorities, America? Where are
not
your
even free.
priorities?
But let's check this out. So just let me speak on two things real quick. I'll wrap it real quick. But Moderna, right? Moderna was paid for, the R&D on that vaccine was paid for by taxpayer money.
Mm.
Now they've been granted, after 5 years, they get to privatize it and make a fucking ton of money. Like, wait a minute, no, we paid for that. It should never be privatized.
Oh.
What are you talking about? That's crazy, right?
No, you better treat us like some capital investors and cake us off a piece of that. That's our money.
Pay
We better get a
pay
percentage
us
of each. Yeah.
Pay us out. Pay
Right.
us out.
You kidding
Or
me?
you take over the patent, you got to pay out the initial investors. But no, we're just cut out the
Exactly.
deal. But we're
No.
cut out of the deal. It's insane. The rest
And
of the
that's
world doesn't operate like this.
and that's what we're talking about, the corporatization of the world, the corporatocracy that's taken form, that a lot of people, as long as your Amazon packages and your food is getting delivered and all these goods and services, then people are just willing to let corporations take over until we have a cyberpunk Blade Runner reality. And we really got to think about that, because once you get there, it's too late to go back. And I heard
Right.
people talking about the supply chain delays and all these things. And sure, when shelves are empty, that's a problem. But the thing everybody kept saying is, so now you won't be able. They were trying to get the American people mad, saying, "Well, now you're not going to have Christmas presents for your kid." What a way to tie it into consumerism. Like, honestly, there were so many years I didn't get Christmas presents, or even times we didn't celebrate Christmas. There's more important. Like, you
This
just
shit
had
was
to tie
tight.
it back. Yeah, you just got to tie it back
Right.
into consumerism and the corporate. Well, we need corporations, right? Come on now.
No, we don't. We really don't. We really don't. And the second point I wanted to make is the money, right? Like, well, it costs money to have those teachers, though this, though that. Well, let's look at it this way. We invest in our society.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
here's the numbers. Here's the
There you
numbers
go.
I got off of Google. You could do your own research, but the numbers I got from Google were that your average high school grad in the US makes 25 grand a year. Your average college grad makes double that, 50 grand a
Mm,
year.
mm-hmm.
If you take just that and then look at their career, their working life, how much taxes they pay in their career. The college graduate pays 170,000 more in taxes. So
Mm.
that way more than pays for the education and to keep it going for the next 10 people.
And they're usually not on government assistance, which is just less money spent by the government. It's
And like
there's
we
yeah,
were saying, you're helping people achieve their dreams and
exactly.
earn a better wage and bop 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 bop.
And
It's fucking quintuple win,
And what you
right?
said is the exact way to think of it. So Joseph Nelson, I get exactly what you're saying about it takes money, but we've got money for endless wars, trillions of dollars in debt with China for
Mm-hmm.
trade and other things. And the word that you use, Dave, is so important. It's an investment. It is an investment in your own country. Now, imagine, like, for me and another thing are both in California. Now, imagine if homelessness was so much less. Like, if
Oh,
there's virtually no homeless people, all the
it's
government
brutal
assistance
here.
and programs that has to be spent on homeless and feeding them. Imagine if that was down. Imagine if the tax revenues and property values were up because all of those people were in nice homes, or
Mm-hmm.
are in homes paying. Imagine this,
Mm-hmm.
like, California, if you just change that, for example, invest in the people, California would be a whole
Huge,
different state. And let's not even talk about
huge.
crime and policing. All the money goes to crime and policing, and we're talking about how people with more options and people that feel invested in, confident doing what they love. A lot of the people in the hood work very hard. Even the ones without jobs are hustling, even if it's an illegal hustle. It's not that they don't,
Right.
it's that they don't want to sell their soul to be a cog in the machine, to do something they hate, or be in a humiliating
Mm-hmm.
job. Which, yeah,
I did
sometimes, yeah,
that.
just suck it up and do it. You got to do that sometimes. But again,
I did
imagine if
that for
those same
years.
people, right? Imagine if those same people had a path to doing what they loved, getting educated for, and that money, you would solve that problem. So
Game
it's a worthy
changer.
investment. It's a worthy
Game
investment.
changer. And imagine the money you save in law enforcement. The
Hmm.
imagine how much money we spend every year just on the trickle down of the homeless problem. But we're not
Hmm.
putting any money towards a remedy. We're just
Mm-mm.
trying to like put our fingers in the dike of the problem, right? Which is a losing game. You
Right.
never keep up. Right? Never.
Right.
It's
Right.
like you're in Oakland, dude, right?
Yep. Yep.
It's out of control over there now. That Home
Man.
Depot's thinking of moving out of Alameda. It's
Yep.
like I've been watching. It's out of
Yep.
control.
It's
I'm in
out of
Santa
control.
Rosa. Santa
Mm.
Rosa's only got 150,000 people. It's out of control. Certain
Out of
underpasses are just homeless villages.
Exactly. It's
there's
tent cities out.
1% of our population here, dude, is homeless in Santa Rosa, an
Man,
hour from SF. That's
wow.
crazy.
That is. All right, let's catch up on some of these ditties. Great points. Appreciate the
Do it.
conversation. Thanks for everybody
Love
chiming
you, people.
in. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Vidania, who's been here from the beginning. Mind Fox, who's been here from the beginning. Zippy, Egalantine. I don't know why I couldn't read that. Zippy, Sleepy Wonder, who's been in here for a unit, and Joey Butts. We're going to hit some of these ditties to get ready. Eglantine. There we go.
Hey,
All right.
Zippy Eglantine! Hey!
Joseph.
Now, with all that said, college is still a waste of money, especially in this day and age, because the market is saturated with degrees. You know, a bachelor is like a fucking high school diploma associate now. You
Mm-hmm.
know, a single mother, I mean, a soccer mom can sit at the house and get a bachelor's and a master's without never attending a brick building.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my wife went and got her master's without even ever physically going to the school. She went physically, got a bachelor's, she got a master's, didn't ever step in the door. Now she's,
Mm-hmm.
administrative. She got a master's in administration for education, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Principal, assistant principal, all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because it's so easy, the more accessible things get, the less value they have. And that's what they killed the degree and they killed the idea of college by making it so accessible. That's why you see these jobs paying $15 an hour and want you to have a fucking bachelor's degree.
Okay. So some of what you said is true in the sense that the more easily and the more common something is, the less value it is. But
All right, thanks for tuning in to another episode and another thing with Dave. Please follow, subscribe, and share. I'm on all social media and another thing with Dave. And keep seeking the truth.